Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And you're listening to the Drop Podcast, our weekly podcast on all things running. And this is a double jammy jam. We recorded one yesterday, and we're back recording this one because, Robbie, what's going on this week?
Brandon's leaving.
Yeah.
Brandon's leaving us for a vacation.
Yeah.
In Big Elk Country.
I don't even know where that is.
I think I made that up.
Okay. I like it.
Definitely made that up.
He's a national park kind of guy.
Yeah. So he's going out west.
That's good. Go west.
Hopefully he doesn't get dysentery crossing the Missouri River or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that a worry?
Isn't that what happened in Oregon Trail?
I think something like that happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was always on the Oregon or
You died of dysentery.
Yeah.
Which is the lamest way in the Old West to die, you know.
Crapping yourself.
Yeah, I mean, would you rather get scalped by a Native American
100%.
or dysentery?
I'd rather get scalped now. Like, that'd be an honorable way to die.
I don't think it is. I think that's a very that's them saying, "Hey, I'm going to disrespect you."
I feel like I'm getting scalped by just like nature as my hairline recedes.
That might be stress.
It's kind of unfair.
It might be stress because you've got a lot going on. So I just saw Meg. I don't know if you've looked at his scar tissue, but from his glass cutting accident, he's got a Nike logo now sewn into his leg.
No, I don't want to.
You're going to have to look at it eventually.
It's not bad, Meg. It's not that bad. Just show her real quick. For those of you listening, Robbie is now showing his wound.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Meg, does that not look like a Nike swoosh?
Is that what you tried to do?
Yeah, it was on purpose. I only had a little bit of a cut, and then I went back to the glass and said, let me carve it up a little bit more.
He said, it'd be cool. Dude.
Wait, can we see that on video?
I
don't know.
You might be able to. Put your leg up on the table here.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Like out here.
Yeah, there you go. And
Nike swoosh.
I'm sure we could take a photo of it and just put a photo in. But for those of you, we talked about it last week, which was yesterday. But how many stitches again?
27.
Do you have to? Are those the kind that disappear? Or you got to take them out.
The ones in the first layer, first 13 disappear, and then the other ones, I just scheduled to get them taken out today.
When you're getting them out today?
No, I made an appointment. Sorry, today.
When do they come out?
September 8th.
Can you run before they come out?
So that's the thing. The doc said not to run while they're still in there.
Okay.
I would listen to the doctor.
Yeah, I was like, can I?
I know.
Can I do this myself though? Can I take these out?
I will tell you, just do it. I went to urgent care when I had to get the stitches out or the staples pulled out of my head.
Yeah,
and it takes 5 seconds.
Well, I think I can get them taken out like 4 days before that. That's what bothered me. But the appointment I made was like
4 days are not going to kill you. Let your body heal.
All right.
I mean, we could do a whole thing on like how patience helps runners avoid bigger
injuries. But I'm in a good mood right now. I'm like chomping at the bit to try and get running.
Okay, so here's what
I want to get it going. Let's go.
This is what I think is a psychological dilemma for most runners. You might be tired and might be like, dude, I really needed time off. I'm unmotivated. I'm this or that. You get injured and you're like, I can't wait to run.
I know, but here's the thing.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
But this is what I'm saying. The last couple of years when I got injured, I'd be like, I can't wait to drink.
Okay.
Like, it's not run. And now I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to run. So I'm like, I need to take advantage of this. I'm feeling good.
What? We could probably
Can you not do both of those things? Are you like, if I'm
Drink
running, I'm
and
not
run?
drinking?
No, it's just a different mindset. It was like, I'd rather drink than run and just do that.
Okay, I got another question. Your doctor doesn't know that we have access to a lever treadmill.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care about breaking the rules.
Oh, no, but I'm saying like you could strap it, take all your weight off, and then...
Oh, the lever one. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
So you could actually be not putting too much pressure on the leg and running.
Yeah. So the lever's like, what do you call it? The anti-gravity type thing.
It's in this case, it's the low budget anti-gravity treadmill. So it's a bungee cord that straps through a pair of shorts that then you pull it to take... Like
it works though, right?
It definitely works. Like when we were trying it out, I pulled like one time I did a treadmill run, and I probably pulled the equivalent of 15 pounds off of my body by using it. I like pulled it really tight, and running like my 5K pace is like
Does that make you want to lose weight? Be like, oh, 15 pounds lighter feels like this?
Hell yeah, it does. But here's the thing is that I've done enough talking to Megan Featherston to know that, like, you can't lose weight and perform well at the same time. So it's like I either would have to, like, not run so many marathons and not be constantly training and be like, okay, I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to restrict my calories. I'm going to lose weight. And then I'm going to slowly build back into a training cycle. But to try to lose weight while you're training for a marathon is a disaster scenario.
I could see that.
Because you just deplete yourself.
And like the thing about the lever, I just felt like it was like fun. You almost feel like a kid. You know, like when you get back on a bike after you haven't been on one for a long time. Like this thing, you're like strapping on. It's like you're kind of floating. It feels like you're at like a jungle gym.
Nice.
Yeah.
But by the way, they didn't sponsor this podcast.
No. But I throw on Zwift on the TV in front of me and have the lever on the treadmill. And so it's like a video game and you're going.
And nobody knows you're actually doing anti-gravity. You're running.
Yeah. You're running past people. You know what's the craziest thing? Like, you know, Meta, Facebook or whatever. Meta just did an ad for their like 3D goggles. And they're like the future of sport. And it's basically Zwift, but you're immersed in the 3D. So you're on your bike trainer and you're riding, and it's like you're in that world. And I'm like, are they partnering with Zwift, or is Meta going to be coming up right against Zwift to like try?
Seems
to
like it'd be easier to
get that
buy
market?
them.
Yeah, they probably will.
Zwift is pretty huge at this point. I don't know if you could just.
You know
but
what?
I think it's the best metaverse so far.
I'm anti-metaverse. I don't like this. Now people are dating. Do you know this? People are dating in the metaverse. And so like they create an avatar, which could be anything, and then they're like talking to each other. So you're having a conversation, but you're like not you, and it's so weird to me.
I actually think it's the future, and someday our little fleshy bodies aren't going to be worth much.
No.
I agree with you.
You're going to exist in that.
You like the metaverse?
No, I don't like it, but I agree with you. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Like, did you see Ready Player One?
I fear change.
Like, that's, yeah. I think that like,
yeah, Ready Player One. Same,
at a certain thing, it's going to be, and that's why I believe in NFTs and all that stuff, because you're going to buy what you want to look like. Is going to cost you money. Everybody's going to show their individuality through the purchases they make in the metaverse, and that's who you're going to meet, and you're going to be impressed with someone who maybe.
Well, there is a theory that essentially aliens are advanced life forms of us, which is why they have large heads, but their bodies are pointless. That's why they're not strong or anything, because they just.
First of all, what aliens?
Okay, I don't know why that's a question, but
I love that you subscribe. The gray ones, you know,
The ones with the big heads.
yeah,
the
little
big
men.
eyes.
You mean like the ones in movies that are completely made up?
No, the ones in Roswell that they're still hiding.
Meg, don't there's dinosaurs, there's
But-
aliens.
Okay, there were actual dinosaurs.
How do we know that?
Because there's fossils, and did
There's
you see all
bones.
Did you
right,
see
there's
all
no-
of the prints that they just found in Texas?
I did see that
Yeah, but
actually.
that could have been made by some weird car with feet that went like that
Yeah,
from the future.
yeah, or just somebody wearing like a costume. Like you have the T-Rex costume.
I do.
It could just
You
be
know?
that.
Yeah, you could have been running around Texas.
And during a rainstorm. But yeah, so but for real, like if they do exist, they do. The idea is that the bodies aren't needed in the future because you just do everything telepathically.
But I'm going to take it a step further. Once we get to artificial intelligence and it can host some life form, that we will cease to exist as a species and have bodies. And two, like if you need to travel to another planet for some reason, like would you send your physical form or would you send a digital form or some form of...
what's happening to like sports and all that? Like, are we not running marathons anymore?
I think we would, but it would be like more intense. Like you play the NFL, they play the what's that game on Madden? Mm-hmm. They play Madden, and people love that. The difference is you'll be able to play in the NFL if you do your...
No, but we have Madden, and then we have NFL games that are still with the best players.
Yeah, but it's going to be a combination of intellectually the best.
I hate this. This universe is not existing.
I mean, that doesn't even go into the biological advances that could happen, so which could be crazy. But
I think that our bodies are the weak part of the equation.
yeah, hence the alien.
Yeah.
All right.
Back to the aliens. Okay, so we went on a little sidetrack there. Anyway, what I was saying was I was interested to see if Zwift was going to remain Zwift or if it was going to become a meta product.
Which, by the way, I just realized that the Z in the Zwift is essentially a Dunkin' Donuts and just spun sideways.
So you think they're in cahoots?
No,
Like,
I think
eat
there's
a donut, work on your calories.
Case to be made that they were just
Copyright infringement?
yeah, like they were just sleeping on their side one time, looking at a Dunkin' Donuts cup on their coffee table, and thought, "Oh, that end looks cool because it's a Z now, and then we'll just do that for our logo."
I'll have to check out the Dunkin' Donuts.
It's pretty similar. I'll show you right now.
All right. I do feel like the shape of a Z and an N.
Look at the N on Dunkin' Donuts. Put that sideways. That's the Zwift logo.
Let me see it.
I mean,
No, the Zwift logo has one side that's pointy.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, put a point on one.
It has a pointy side?
Yeah.
You might be right.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Oh, I did Swift. I don't even know how to spell it right. Zwift. Oh, you are right.
Yeah.
But, all right. I don't know.
It's a little different.
A
But
bit.
I actually enjoy Zwift quite a bit. Like especially in the winter when you can't get outside and, the treadmill is your option. I put the foot pod on and you can get more of a running feel than just.
I thought you were going to say you ate UCAN, like Generation UCAN before your runs.
No, but speaking of that, Laura Green, is it McGreen or Green?
McGreen.
Okay. She's going to be joining our team for that run for NYC.
Oh, it is. Sorry. You're right. It is Laura Green.
Yeah, Laura Green.
I go by her Instagram, which says McGreen.
Well, that's good. Everybody who hasn't heard of her, go to Instagram, Laura McGreen, MC Green. She is hilarious, and she does these little reels of humor for running.
They're pretty funny. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I mean, she nails the personalities of brands. She gets what is it? I guess it's the values basically of the brand and kind of puts it into a personality, and it works.
It's stuff that if we did, we would just get grief from everybody nonstop.
Yeah, but I'm so excited for her to do it and to be part of our team to run NYC. And I told her, I said she's allowed to make fun of us and do whatever. So
encouraged to make fun of us.
Yeah, we should do a roast.
Yeah, I think
we should do a roast.
I think it's gonna happen. I don't know if I'm
mentally prepared,
emotionally strong enough for that, but
you gotta be ready.
Like, do you remember when on The Office when he got roasted?
Oh yeah. Well, apparently
that'll be Thomas.
Yeah.
Steve Carell will be Thomas during that roasting.
I was listening to a podcast with the dude, what's his name, Jeff, the guy who hosts all the roasts on Comedy Central.
Oh yeah,
Jeff Ross.
Yeah, Jeff Ross.
And it was pretty cool getting to hear about kind of the background of roasts and how they work and everything. And
I mean, they've been forever, haven't they?
Yeah, but like he's been hosting them for 20 years.
You're talking about the Comedy Central roast,
yeah. Yeah. But he said the only person that I think that really took it poorly was Chevy Chase. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But which is crazy.
But apparently Chevy Chase always had a problem with this kind of stuff.
No one really. He's just an asshole, I think.
I think that's the gist. I mean, every show he's worked on, people are like,
Mm-hmm.
So.
But I don't know. It would be, you had to prepare yourself mentally for that.
I mean, we kind of get roasted anyway in some of the stuff that we do. But
it'd be weird to have your friends doing it, though.
Yeah, because then because let's face it, a roast, it's true.
Right.
It's permission to say the truth to somebody. And in a way that you're supposed to laugh off. And that I don't.
Those things probably stick with you, though.
Yeah.
You know how those negative comments hit you? Like, you probably hold on to those forever. And you laugh in the moment, but yeah. I don't think we should. I take it back. We should not do a roast.
I think it has to be comedians because their skin's so thick just from being.
Well, they're used to the like back and forth,
ribbing each other.
Yeah,
kind of just
like I don't know that. Like I don't. Like, how would I roast Megan? I wouldn't even be able to roast Megan because that would just end.
Yeah, you guys would be.
And I can't think of anything that like she would outwardly show that I'm hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I hit a nerve, you'd never see it. It's poker face. So it'd be like,
and then you keep trying to dig deeper.
Yeah, and then like a year later, it would come out in some weird way.
It's you not waking up ever again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you remember when you said that? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Anyways, but yeah, so Laura, did you say she's gonna be joining us for the New Balance?
She is. I think she's joining the team. We talked to New Balance and said we wanted her on the team. She wants to be on the team.
She'll be a really fun addition.
Yeah, I met her at Falmouth, and it was a very awkward introduction because Kafuzi at the end of Falmouth, we'd had a couple
Trulies. Is that what they drink?
We were drinking Trulies.
A couple?
At this point.
Dude, that's water, man.
So he brings this woman up to me. He's like, "Hey, Thomas, this is Laura. You probably follow her on Instagram. She's really funny." And I was like, and she's like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Laura, I'm sorry, I don't follow you on Instagram. I don't know." I
would have just lied.
I didn't want to because
the truth is always better.
Yeah, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. I'll check out your Instagram." And she was probably like, "Thanks, Dick." But I was like, "Okay." So then I went and I did check out her Instagram, and I was like, "This shit is hilarious." And I just kind of went down a rabbit hole. And I didn't, how like when you're going through someone's Instagram, you don't want to like stuff that's like older than like a couple days because then it looks like you're digging.
Yeah.
So I just kind of scrolled through and I didn't like anything. But then I sent her a personal message and say, "Hey, this is Thomas. I met you. I just looked at your Instagram. You're fantastic and hilarious." And so when we were going to have 10 people originally for the project and one person had to drop out. And so there was a spot, and I was like, it would be fun. Like, this would be a fun addition to our team.
Yeah. Is she going to run the Bronx?
No, she's just going to join us at NYC.
Which, by the way, that Bronx is coming up this weekend.
Oh, yeah. By the time this comes out. Yeah, so we're all heading to New York on Saturday. The race is on Sunday. It's 10 miles.
We're going to wear the SC trainer for it, at least some of us. Are you, Megan?
We are. Uh-huh.
Okay. But yeah, we're training and doing it as a training run, so it's be less of a race. And I've heard the course sucks.
Wait, I think I'm wrong. I think it's the week. Oh, it's the week after this comes out.
Yeah, correct.
Robbie, can you pull up the course?
I think it's very, very hilly, which here's the thing. It's good training for New York, but it's 2 weeks out for Thomas and I from London.
Which I still think hills are always beneficial.
Yeah. But
hills are good.
It might not be an all-out effort. It might be more of a marathon-paced.
Yeah. And if you are listening to the UK, we're still trying to get the details together for a shakeout run in London.
Yep, we're working on it right now.
And I want to meet our London people and people that are out there listening to us in London. Because first off, I love your accent. And two, I'm so excited to be in London.
Dude, you had to talk in an accent the whole time we're there.
Oh, jeez.
I'll try to learn it like Madonna. Like, I'll try to come back with it. Like, we'll go for 4 or 5 days, and I'll come back with the British accent.
Man, I was watching. I told you this on the last podcast. I was watching that show Alone, and this one woman on there had lived in England for, I guess, 12 years or 15 years, but she's from Idaho, so.
Did she adopt the accent?
It was like half and half, and it was driving me nuts because I'm like, it sounds like you're faking it the whole time.
I do. I feel like there is a strong, like when a person from the United States goes over to England, there's a strong desire to.
Yeah, like you want to do that.
It's not like it happens by accident. It's like you're listening, you're keying in, and you'll be like, when I go back to America, I'll be able to.
I will say, though, moving here, even living in Baltimore for 10 years, it's definitely that Baltimore stuff's crept in.
Yeah, for me too.
More so.
But I still feel like California is still, I think, my predominant. I think I'll slide into.
What is that? What is the California?
California is like white bread accent. Like it's like
Valley?
You're not from anywhere.
Not Valley, California.
You know how someone from New York, you're going to get that.
Yeah,
Boston, you have those people. You go down through the South, there's all these different accents. Mm-hmm. California is like, let's just obliterate it all.
You know what was funny? This one time, when I was working at a hotel back in the day, they would hire people from other countries to come work, basically just pay cheap labor. And
Ocean City, Maryland.
But it'd be like, experience America. Like, come here.
Work at a Phillips restaurant.
And these guys don't know. They're from Korea. They think they're coming to America. It's like they see it on the movies. We're in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. And they're like, have to live in a Holiday Inn for 3 months.
Oh, that was you read the book. What's his name? Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah.
When he went to Australia.
Yeah, it's like that.
You're thinking you're going to, Sydney and surfing.
Yeah. And so they're in the middle of nowhere, PA. And I just felt bad. So I just started hanging out with this guy. And it was cool. He would come on like to our shows and stuff and take photos. And then I gave him like a thing to cook food in his room. And, but I was just hanging out with him one time and I did a Southern accent. I was like, yeah, people in the South, like, people talk like this. And then, I was doing a Southern accent. He's like, it sounds the same. Which makes sense, because if you were in China and different dialects. You can't tell the difference
between Mandarin
exactly
and the other.
But I just thought that was interesting because they're so different. And, like, I was doing a ridiculous Southern accent. He couldn't tell.
Yeah.
When we were in France, I remember, like, when I was with my parents, like my dad would pick up on like the complete different, and I was like, they all sound the same to me.
Yeah, like that's a country French guy. That's a
So your dad could tell that?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but the dude also had to know who to murder and not.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with England. I mean, there's different accents there too.
But that I can hear.
That's a little more, but I think that's because it's English.
Like, I think because you're not trying to understand the language.
The language as well, yeah.
So then you can pick up on the nuance. Mm-hmm. But definitely, like we watch, and this is, I can't believe I'm going to admit this, but we watch Love Island. UK. And
there's a UK version of the show?
That's the only one to watch. We don't watch the American one. That one's trash.
Yeah. Australia and UK are really good.
You're gonna have a hard time with me. The other ones aren't trash, but
they are. But they're trash. They're with all accents.
Trash.
Good trash.
It's everyone sounds so much smarter in the UK version, because like the American version, they all sound so dumb.
If you voiced over and took away their British accents, it would sound dumb too.
It would be terrible.
But
I got you.
When they're saying, "Oh, we're cracking along great, like a house on fire." And you're like,
oh, this is a romantic story.
That's very good. House on fire. I like that.
That sounds like something they'd say in the South too, like cracking along great like a house on fire.
Yeah. I was gutted. Yeah. When I found out she was snogging another man.
Yeah, the lingo really does it for you.
Yeah, so it helps, but you can tell I'll be like, oh, that guy, he's from Scotland. Great. All right, this guy's from downtown London. This guy's from like a shitty part of London. You can tell the difference.
For how much we talk about England on this show, or the UK, we better have a lot of people coming out to a group run when you guys go over there.
I hope so. Yeah. I think it's going to be fun.
Well, maybe work with New Balance. Maybe we can get them to help us do some co-branded gear or something.
I'm actually emailing right now about what we're going to do. So
I'm looking at this Bronx 10-miler course. It's basically an out and back, right?
Is it?
Like not on this. Is it the same street, or is it? It has to be.
Yeah, it's an out and back.
Interesting.
And
that'd be great. I get to see Megan run past me.
I don't know if I've ever been hung out in the Bronx before.
I have not.
I've only been in the Bronx briefly, but I did run through it in the New York City Marathon, but I can't remember why I was there. I think it might have been for a hip hop show.
Yeah, because I've never been to a Yankees game. I've only been to a Mets.
Oh, is the Yankees in there? Yeah. Then I was also there.
It starts right at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at Yankee Stadium for Roger.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Roger Waters. The Wall, which was perhaps one of the most enveloping, exciting, fantastic concerts I've ever seen in my life. That would have been
a cool show for sure.
I think he's doing a new thing.
Really?
Yeah. So you might get a chance to see him again, but going to Yankee Stadium and seeing him there and the crowd and
I just don't know. It's probably expensive as hell. Like when Paul McCartney came to Camden Yards, starting tickets were like $500.
Oh wow!
I would say that I don't know about Paul McCartney, but Roger Waters was more like going to see a play and a show than it was just a rock concert.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we paid for tickets, but it was totally worth it. Like I would pay $1,000 a person to go see it again.
Did you ever do laser light shows back in the day? where you would go and they'd play Pink Floyd and stuff.
Oh,
remember how that was a thing?
Yeah, that was a thing. I didn't do that.
Yeah, I think I went to one, which is weird that it was still happening in the 90s.
Well, people are still taking acid.
I didn't do any drugs at that time, or now. Wait.
Mom.
I really didn't. I was pretty good kid.
I was always afraid of the hallucinogenics, and now I'm watching these Netflix shows like How to Change Your Mind, and I'm like, I got to get me some mushrooms.
Yeah, I think that's all. I think it has to be like really controlled, though. I mean, I don't know. I haven't done any psychedelics, but it seems that there is definitely some science showing that some really positive use.
But yeah, they're like micro doses versus like someone going out and
they have some that they do have, like they do substantial amounts as well. So
but it's also a controlled environment,
right?
It is a controlled environment, but the thing is that what is interesting to me though is people are coming back from these psilocybin trips, and they're saying how they no longer fear death, that they feel connected to the world, that there's a that the ego fades away and they can see like the connectedness of everyone. But I'm like, okay, so you experience that. You're kind of giving me an idea what that is, but why can't you describe it in a way that we can get there without tripping?
I guess it's just have to access certain parts of your brain.
That's what they're saying. Like,
but I went on a long run actually the one Saturday with a dude who works at the Hopkins Psychedelic Research Institute, and he's currently in like South America living with the tribe for a year studying the
ayahuasca stuff.
Yeah, he has done the ayahuasca retreat like spent times with tribes. It's a different thing though, but he was kind of explaining all that, like what some of the research they're doing and stuff and along those lines. But he also did say, you have to be in a certain mental state. Like I think people nowadays just want a magic cure for everything. And he's like, that's not, like, you still have to be like doing work on yourself, and just, it's not a go in, get healed and everything's fine. Like, and it also has the potential to have severe like breaks. Like people that also happens.
A mental break is a possibility, but I don't think I could have taken it when I was a teenager. I think I had too many insecurities and stuff going on. But I feel like I'm ready now. But Megan won't let me. I feel like I'm ready now.
Dude, you could do studies up at at Bayview. They have a whole institute there at Hopkins.
Yeah, but
Bayview.
I don't like you. I think you're supposed to have like a problem with alcohol or
cigarettes,
something, and I don't have anything.
So
I run a lot. Dude, maybe I'd stop running.
Start smoking, man.
Maybe like you want a cure for that running thing you're doing. I could do that.
It's an addiction. Some people, it's an addiction.
It's definitely an addiction. I can't stop running at this point.
Yeah,
I'm concerned as I get older. I'm like, okay, it's gonna hurt more and more. I'm gonna get slower and slower, and I got to figure out how to just keep doing it.
Yeah, they I read some stats on like the smoking studies there, and they found that like it was a crazy high number of people who did the like microdosing, like a regimen over a few months, never smoked like a year later. It was like never had the urge. Yeah, like 75% of the people.
The same thing they said for alcoholism. So the root, somehow during the therapy, they're able to figure out, like you might go to a therapist for years to figure out why you have a reaction the way that you have a reaction to something. And apparently like how do you say it again?
What?
Psilocybin. That can get you to the root of you discovering and opening up the memories and being like, okay,
right,
this is what I'm suppressing. This is why I'm exploring this behavior. And that's why people don't go back, is they're like, okay.
They understand. It's like fully aware.
I'm done. Yeah. So they had one guy that was like a heavy alcoholic on the show that he did it and like 7 years later and he doesn't drink anymore. And he was like that person waking up in the morning, stopping at a liquor store to get like a handle of vodka.
By the way,
at work.
Yeah. I just don't, whenever I think about people being real alcoholics, like I know it happens and it's terrible, but it seems like so much work to me that to like, especially people who only drink beer as an alcoholic, like a case of beer a day. I'm like, that's so much drinking of things.
Yeah.
Like it just seems
like it's hard enough to hydrate.
Yeah. Like it just seems like too much work to do.
I don't know. Like for me, like if like we don't have any vodka in the house right now, which is probably my favorite. And if I don't stop today on the way home to get a bottle of vodka, then I just won't have a drink. And like, so when you say lazy, it's like I'm not compelled. Like I don't need to stop.
But man, it just seems like a lot
Megan's
of work.
laughing at me because she's like, I'll have a martini tonight. And I'm like, okay, we can get some.
No, I'm just laughing because I'm like, how much do you want to bet when we leave the office? We got to stop at the liquor store.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. It's Wednesday, so we just did my workout. I had a great run this morning. So I'm on that high of, workout went really well. Yeah. And you're like, okay, you didn't drink for the last few days. You can reward yourself with a cocktail tonight because you did your hard workout.
Yeah.
And then you just wait till the weekend for the next one because I'll have, after the 12 miler, we'll probably have, I don't even know, because we won't hang out and party because we're going to finish our runs back to the house. So it's not even like I'll stop and have beers at the end of the race.
Dude, just scooter it back.
That's what he did last year.
I had to do it last year, but that wasn't because I was partying. That was because I was coughing blood up.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that whole thing.
Yeah. That was a year ago. Isn't that crazy?
It feels.
What was the reason for that again?
I don't even know. I think they said like allergies. So I started using like a Nasacort, and they gave me like an inhaler. And I haven't really for a while. I was like, before every run, I was like hitting the Nasacort to clear out the sinuses and hitting the inhaler. And then it just was like, I didn't really feel a difference, and it kind of went away. So what I think it probably was, I think when I was breathing saliva down into my lungs, and it was causing me to cough.
Not where that goes.
Yeah, it was causing me to cough, and so I started coughing, and I was coughing violently as I was trying to run faster paces, and I think it just irritated my throat, and I think I started coughing.
That just reminded me, I didn't take my antibiotics this morning. I got to do that.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Put that on the calendar.
All right, should we talk about the Saucony Endorphin Shift 3?
I think we should. Megan and I just did the video review, so you might even see that before this is out.
Who knows? Time is time.
If you watch our YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But we kind of have a different level of affection for this shoe.
Yeah. Well, for starters, it's a solid upgrade from the previous iteration. It's got 2 more millimeters of foam underfoot. It's lighter. The design is prettier.
Do you know who I think would like this shoe? Robbie Redinger.
You keep saying that about the Saucony Shifts, and I have yet to like it.
I didn't like the Saucony Shift before this. It was a little too firm.
Yeah.
They softened this one up a little bit. This has got, is it 40 millimeters in the back?
39.
39.
Oh.
And then what was the front? It was like
34, 35.
Yeah, because it's a 4 millimeter drop. So it's got a nice high stack. It's reason I think you would like it, Robbie. It's cushioned, but it's not mushy.
Okay.
So and before you couldn't even do this in the model before, like say I'm bending the toe.
Right.
You couldn't do that. This one I can bend. It's got a little more flexibility. It's a little softer under toe. So you still get some nice cushioning. And it dropped an ounce from last year.
Yeah. It got a lot lighter.
Oh, I forgot about that because it did feel blocky before.
Yeah,
super
it did.
Blocky.
It felt, this one definitely gets like a smoother ride. And yeah, the upper is nice. Pretty standard.
I think this one floats between Daily Trainer and Max Cushion. So it's kind of like not a master of either, but it just feels good. And I like the speed roll. And the upper, I don't know what Saucony's doing with their uppers, but I haven't found a bad upper yet.
It's a pretty good looking shoe. I like that.
That's what I'm saying.
I like putting that logo on the heel. That's interesting. On the midsole there. That's interesting.
Yeah. Versus the upper.
Well, it still has somewhat of one chopped up in here.
On the medial side. Yeah, but it's a nice looking shoe.
You know what? That Megan is a sucker for the all whites. I'm kind of a sucker for the all whites. I think we're going to see this all white gum sole.
Is it a real gum sole on that?
It is.
Nice.
Not like that Reebok one where we got that
tan
fake,
tan outsole.
Yeah. So, and they did some stuff to improve the ride. So it's got this split that goes all the way back into the tail. That gives it a little more. What did they say it did?
Improved the transition.
Yeah. You can touch down and roll forward more easily than before.
Yeah, and it does it. The speed roll, right?
Yep.
Yeah, speed roll geometry works really well in this shoe. I think this would really pair well. Like if you're going to use this as your daily trainer and then transition into the Endorphin Pro 3, I think that they would make a nice, sweet combo.
I don't know, man. The Tempest, though, is a great shoe, too. And that was even a stability shoe.
I like that. This price, though, is $150, which is pretty sweet.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. This one kind of, there's an Axon.
I think this comes out November. Do you remember? 4th or 14th, one of those. October 4th or 14th.
I didn't know it wasn't out yet.
No, yeah, it's not out for like another month.
Oh, wow.
We forgot to mention that.
Yeah. I really enjoy running in this shoe, though.
Cool. It's good to know.
$150 is such a good price, and the More V4 also $150. So you're gonna have a lot of choices for that higher stack, more cushion, trainer.
Cool. All right.
All right. So Thomas, who is our guest today?
Is it Joe Rubio? Because I feel like it's Joe Rubio. So
it sounds like a boxer, right?
I know, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like and
Joe Rubio.
Get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
Let's get ready
to Rubio.
Every time we start an intro, it gets weird.
Okay.
I don't know what happens.
You're welcome, Joe.
All right. So Joe is a fascinating character because not only is he an incredible runner with a marathon PR of 2:18.
Fast.
Yeah. And he's a coach. He works with the Aggies out there in California, near San Luis Obispo, where you might find the headquarters for Running Warehouse, which I think he founded or co-founded. We'll find out in the interview. But Joe is quite the successful businessman, was one of the first people to bring running to online sales, and has really created something special with Running Warehouse. And I just want to dig in, learn about his passion for running. And
he's also like a cool looking dude.
Doesn't look like a Joe Rubio, does he?
No, I mean when I see him, when I met him, I was like, man, this guy looks cool. I'm gonna look like this when I'm older.
Yeah, it's an aspirational aging.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
Oh, well, he has it. Him and Jean-Luc Diard, I was like, man, I don't look like these guys.
Get there.
I know I'm just gonna look like a freaking like redneck, some dude that lives in a shed in the woods or whatever. But
that's also a cool look for some people.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, who's somebody who's aging that you're like, I don't want to look like that guy?
That's a good question.
Usually it has, for me, it's when they try to do plastic surgery or.
Oh, always.
Like,
do we have any more time?
Yeah, we got time.
The plastic surgery thing. I know it's people get it. It's whatever. I feel like almost all the time, nobody looks better when it happens.
That's the thing. It's like.
I agree.
Here's the thing. I think initially, because women are starting in their 20s now with Botox and stuff like that.
Apparently, my wife's friend has like 3 friends have done. Like my wife's friends, like she has like 3 friends. And
I gotta tell you,
wow,
it's more than you would know. Like I was surprised how many. Like and people talk about it openly now because it is so accepted and stuff. But I think what happens is you start getting you get some Botox, then you're like, okay, I'm gonna get some filler. And the filler is like to help your wrinkles look smoother. But the problem is you start getting the Botox and your face doesn't move. And then you get the filler and it gets plump. So you kind of have like a plump face that doesn't move.
Yeah. Dude, some of the celebrities, when they keep on going, it's probably they probably get addicted.
I think it is.
I think it's also like a body dysmorphia thing where what you see in the mirror is different than what I see. Like,
oh, yeah.
You know how like your kids grow and you see them every day, so you're like they don't seem to change that much. But when you go see a kid that you haven't seen in a while, you're like, holy cow!
Yeah,
kid's gigantic.
You can't go back from that though, right? Like once.
No, I think you start because I think it's almost like deflating a tire.
There's been like so many times though that we'll go out somewhere and I'm like, I'm the only female in this restaurant or whatever that doesn't have like something done.
Well, I always point out to Megan, I say, look, that person's forehead isn't moving. Like watch, like when they'll do a surprise look in their eyes, their eyelids go up, but that's it. And then their eyebrows just sit like straight. Or if it's really forced, like say that they're getting low on their Botox battery, you'll get like a little tiny raise and you'll be like, okay. But like the duck lip, all that stuff.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
one.
lot.
I think the funny thing is like, I feel like as runners running outside all the time, dude, there's no point.
Yeah.
We're
It's
screwed.
over.
That's kind of why I've given up on my face.
Yeah.
It
just is
because even I know that I'm supposed to be lathering on lots of sunscreen.
You're running.
You're running, and it's.
But you also don't get as much vitamin D, I don't think, if you
have the
use
sunscreen.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's like it could, I mean, there's still a net benefit, I think.
Here's what I say: wear a hat, cover your skin, do all that. Check yourself. You know, I'm not the expert on it. I know that there's some people out there that would probably shoot me with a gun if I said don't lather up with full sunscreen every time. But it's kind of like stretching. It's like when you get up in the morning, like you have a limited number of minutes before you get out that door. Then you have to go to work, get your kids. Like, okay, what would your routine be? Is it stretching, warm up, sunscreen?
No sunscreen, get Botox. That's what
That's the thing you can't, like, I agree. Like anything that you would do to try to fix aging as a runner, you're going to like ruin.
Yeah.
But also as runners, I think we're aging better than most people.
I think
sometimes in the face, not so much.
Yeah.
Maybe not the face.
Sometimes when you see the race photos of like older runners that run their whole lives, it's like, you like definitely
no, but you also,
vibes.
if you look at your race photos on your down step, you're like, oh, that's what I'm going to look like when I'm 80.
I know,
true.
which is very disappointing.
That's true.
Yeah, it's a real hard one.
Yeah, and so just so we're clear on this, wear sunscreen.
All right.
And a hat.
Yeah.
Now with that insane intro.
All right, that's it.
All right, now Joe Rubio.